Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marky Picks. And today I got another free 6-pick prize pick slip for you, covering Monday Night Football and some MLB Division Series Game 2 action between the Dodgers and Phillies and the Brewers and the Cubs. Quick recap on yesterday's slip. On the main slip, we went 4 out of 6. Solid day. Not the best, but on the honorable mentions tab, we hit, I believe, 6 out of the 10 free picks. So again, you add those two numbers together, we went 10 out of 16 on the day for a 62.5% hit rate. And that's where you want to be at, really, if you're playing prize picks. If you're hitting at a hit rate, above like 50, I believe the number to be profitable playing, depending on what slips you play. I don't know if you play like 2 picks or 4 picks or 5 picks or 6 picks, but you want to be like above that 56 to 58% hit rate mark, and that's really what we've been doing over the last couple weeks. Yeah, we had a couple bad days here and there. That happens, but for the most part, we're hitting at a above 60% hit rate. So I mean, you keep on tailing these slips. One of these days, we're gonna take down that 6 for 6 and be profiting even more than we already are. But quick recap on the main slip. I'm not going to go through every single pick on the free picks from yesterday, but I'm going to go over the main slip. Bo Nix, this is one of my favorite plays of the day. He ended up smashing his line. This was a perfect game script for him. Denver was down, especially in that second half. They were down 17-3, and Bo Nix was starting to make some plays. It wasn't looking good early in that first half. I think he only had like 98 passing yards, so he needed a big second half, and they needed him to step up if they were going to have a chance to win. He stepped up. They got the win. They knocked the Eagles out, first loss of the season. And jumping in the second pick, Justin Fields. This is another situation that wasn't looking good early, especially in that first quarter. I think he only had like 43 total passing and rushing yards. He really didn't rush that much. It was really his passing game that really cleared his line. But again, that's why this is my first time using the combo pick on the main slip. But I mean, depending on what over you took, if you took his regular passing yards line, it would think it was like set at 187. He would have smashed that line as well. This line came down the last couple minutes, but he only needed like 4 passing yards, and I thought for sure he was going to be easily getting that. So he definitely did, and then some. No sweat there at the end of the day, even though I thought the way that started out, it was going to be pretty close. Cam Ward, another one that started out like not looking good at all, but the game script, like I thought it was. I thought the Titans were playing from behind all game. They were, and their offense was just abysmal in that first half. But they came alive there late, and they ended up getting a clutch win there at the end there against the Cardinals. But again, the game script played right into our favor. Exactly what I projected him for. He smashed this. Alvin Kamara didn't hit. I don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara this year. I don't know if the Saints just they don't trust him, or they want Kendra Miller to get more reps now, because that first quarter, I mean, Kamara, he was looking pretty solid. I mean, he had like 4 carries for 15 yards. I mean, that's pretty much on pace to clear his line. But I don't know what the Saints were doing. He only had like 7 carries in the game. I mean, this is a guy that's easily getting 13 to 15 carries a game. I believe he only got 2 carries that whole second half. I really don't know what was going on there. Very frustrating, because especially when they were playing with the lead as well. I mean, you thought that this was going to be a spot where they're just going to hand Kamara the ball, but they didn't seem to want to give him the ball at all there in that second half. Not sure if there was injury concerns or what, but he was in the game. So, I mean, I don't think it would be injury. I don't think they wanted to see what Kendra Miller got. Maybe Kamara's going to be on the trade block this season. I do think he ends up getting traded, because I don't know why you have a guy like this that's supposed to be a star running back and you're not really using him to win a game, really. This is a very winnable game. They did end up winning the game, but I thought this was a game he easily sees 15-plus carries. He didn't get there. Rashad White, another one. Like I thought this was. I mean, I saw this line also jump up to 50.5 before lock, so people were probably taking the over on this. I mean, I could see why, because Bucky Irving's out. I get it. But like Tampa, I mean, I think he did end up getting like a pretty good amount of carries, more than I projected him for. But Seattle does have a pretty strong rushing defense, and they showed it again in this one. Also, Baker Mayfield, he also had a pretty big game. The game script was a passing game script for both quarterbacks in this one, so rushing game was not a factor at all. Um, Finished with 41 rushing yards. I think that's right around we had him projected for. I think we had him like 38, 30, 35, so pretty close on the projection there. Rico Dowdle, I thought this one was pretty strong. I mean, especially early on in this one. Um, I think he had like, 5 carries for like 10 or like 15 yards or something. I thought it was looking pretty solid there for the under 50 and a half. But he broke off a couple like huge 50-yard runs, I believe. And you can't really project for something like that. I mean, I thought this was a game Miami was gonna like be leading for the most of the way, and they actually were. They were up like 17-0, I believe, in this game. Carolina came back, won this game. So the Dolphins are still a trashy team, I believe. I thought they were gonna go on like a little bit of a mini winning streak. They didn't get it done here. 204 rushing yards for Rico Dowdle. Chuba Hubbard was out in this game. I still projected him to get pretty good amount of carries, but my projection didn't like him to go over 58 and a half. He ended up burning us. This was the only one that was really that was just my fault, I guess. I felt really good about the other five on this slip. Kamara, he really showing over that number. Just didn't get the volume. But I'm ready for today's action. We got MLB and NFL action. Should have some great games on the slate for today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's picks. Jumping off of pick number 1. We're going with a little bit of a different prop here. We got Patrick Mahomes over 19.5 fantasy score. My projection is at 23.07. Got the Jaguars and the Chiefs Monday night. Patrick Mahomes always likes to play in these primetime games. He always usually shows up. He's actually cleared this line in, I believe, 3 out of the 4 games he played this season. He just missed the one that he didn't get. So, I mean, their running game isn't really a factor. I don't think their running game at all, like Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, they don't really play a factor at all. So, their ability to like win games and score points is really on the shoulders of Patrick Mahomes. And I like this line here at 19.5. I think he has plenty of chances to get plays and touchdowns in this game. Jacksonville's not that very good of a passing defense, and this should be a pretty competitive game. I'm expecting. They are on the road in Jacksonville, so they won't have the home crowd behind them in this one. I think Patrick Mahomes also has some rushing touchdown ability in this game as well. I think if they get to the goal line, they could do some bootleg rollouts or something like that. I could see Mahomes getting a rushing touchdown there, and of course Kelsey. I expect Kelsey to have a pretty strong game. So if you want to look for other props, I would look at a Kelsey prop, maybe receptions or receiving yards. Also, Patrick Mahomes, if you don't want to go with fantasy score, because if you don't like his touchdown or scoring ability, that department, his passing yards prop looks strong. I have him projected for like 258 on the passing yards line. I believe his PrizePicks line's at 247.5. So if you want another angle on the category here, go ahead and take the over on the passing yards if you feel more comfortable with that. I was going to take that originally, but I just really like his overall ability in this game, and that's what I'm backing in this first pick. So jumping into the second pick, we're going Trevor Lawrence under 33.5 longest completion. My projection, I don't have a projection for the longest completion prop category, but I do have him projected for 190.5 passing yards. So the Chiefs defense does not really give up that many big plays when they're defending the pass this season. They're very strong with yards per completion this season. Trevor Lawrence isn't really that big play type of quarterback either. If you don't feel comfortable with this prop category, again, I have him at 190.5 passing yards, so that's well below his PrizePicks line. I think his PrizePicks line's at 217.5. The only thing I see wrong with that is because there is a chance that Jacksonville plays from behind in this game. So if that's the case, he's probably going to throw the ball more and end up getting more yards, but I still don't think he gets a long completion. I think he can get some, he can probably eat up a lot of like 10 to 15 yard pass completions, but nothing too, he might get in the 20s, but I don't see him getting a bomb threat down the field. They do got Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. They can make some deep balls down the field, but I don't like any of their weapons to, do anything after that, because the Chiefs defense, once again, very strong when it comes to yards per completion when they're defending the pass. And Trevor Lawrence, so far he's been struggling. I've been targeting the under on him like every single week, and it's been cashing in, so I'm going to keep going back to the well. Even though it's a different prop category, I still like the chance of hitting this one. Rounding out the Monday Night Football props here, we're going same team, but we're taking the running back, Travis Etienne over 13.5, longest rushing attempt. My projection, I don't have another, again, I don't project for these specific prop categories, but I do project for, general yards. I got him projected for 98 rushing yards. So, if you, again, this is another one you can go with a different angle. All three of these, I'm taking like different prop categories than I usually would. Just trying out something different, see how it works. But as you can see, the projection for on the rushing yards for him is at 98. I believe his regular PrizePicks line's at 64.5. You can definitely take the over on that. That's a strong edge there if you want to go there. The only reason I'm taking 13.5 is because, again, I think if Jacksonville is playing from behind, they could throw the ball more, and that limits his rushing volume. But I think early on, he should, like in the first half, I think he gets this in the first half, maybe even first quarter. Chiefs, while they might be a good passing defense when it comes to yards per completion, they're the opposite when it comes to yards per rush. They're like one of the worst teams in the NFL in yards per rush this season, and Etienne's one of the top running backs this season in yards per rush. I think this is a fantastic line to get this at 13.5. I'm actually surprised it's kind of this low. I think Etienne can easily clear this line. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite plays of the slip. I would say I would have that on every single slip you play tonight. I think it's a free pick, really. I just really love the edge that we're getting here, 13.5. He's also cleared this line in like every game he's played. Even if I looked at the game logs for his total rushing yards over the last so far this season, I think he's cleared this number in like every game he's played. I believe so. At least 3 out of the 4 games he's played, he's gone over this number. So again, he's trending upwards. He's one of the best yards per rush running backs in the NFL right now. I think he's getting like 7 yards per rush, and the Chiefs are also giving up I want to say giving up like 6 yards per rush. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do have him projected in my model. I think this is a very strong play here to round out Monday Night Football props here. Now we're switching gears to the MLB. We're going to go with Blake Snell under 37.5 pitcher fantasy score. My projection is at 33.41. Game 2 between Phillies and Dodgers. I am a Phillies fan. I'm going to have a little bit of a biased pick on this slip, so take that with your own risk. I'll talk about that in a second, but I think this line is set too high, really. 37.5. And this is a must-win game for the Phillies. I think the Phillies have to win this game. They come out here and they get the Blake Snell pretty early. He is a veteran pitcher, so I don't know if the environment's going to phase him too much. Yeah, I was looking at his strikeout line. I think his strikeout line's at 7.5. I was going to take the under on that, but again, I know my Phillies team. They do strike out a lot, so that's the only chance I think this line can go over. But I think the Phillies will score some runs in this game, and I think that's what's going to push this line under. That's why I took the fantasy score, not the strikeouts. Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid edge here, 33.41. Unless he somehow gets a win, I don't think he's going to be in line for a win at all, because I think the Phillies at least make this game close and have a chance to win it at the end, or at least it's tied by the time he gets taken out. So I think his line's set too high, so I'm rocking the under. I'm jumping into pick number 5. We're going with Jesus Luzardo over 30.5 pitcher fantasy score. My projection is at 35.74. So this one does carry some risk. I'm a little bit of a Phillies bias pick here, but my projection, I'm going to rock my projections every single time. If my projection says it's going over, I'm likely going to rock with the over, especially when it's my team. Because my model doesn't account for bias selections in there, so I don't boost the projection just because it's my team. The projection just spits out because of the formulas that I have in there, and they spit out the number. So I think this is a good spot here for Luzardo. Good strikeout. He's a great strikeout pitcher. 30.5 I think is too low. I would say this line should be around 32 to 33. If it was that high, I wouldn't pick it. I did see it jumping up to 31.5 at the time I was making this video, so people are jumping on the over there, but I don't know how high it gets to. So if it gets any higher than 32.5, I probably wouldn't play it. I think it goes up to 32.5. Again, that might be a little risky, just because there's a lot of shenanigans that can go on there with the hooks and stuff. I like that we're getting to 30.5, but the only risk here is because Luzardo does have blow up potential. I've seen it so many times this year where he goes out there and gets, gives up a ton of runs. But I've also seen it where he dominates and gets strikeouts. And the Phillies need it for this one if they want to continue in the postseason. They can't go down 2-0. They need a big start from Luzardo. He's pitching in this crazy environment. He pitched here when he was with the Marlins in the wild card series. It didn't go well, but now he's on the Phillies. Now he's got the crowd behind him. I think it's a different type of feel for him. I think he's gonna show up when the Phillies need it to, and have a solid dominant outing. Jumping into the last pick of the slip, we're going to the other MLB game. We're going Shota Imanaga over 3 Ks. We got him for 4 of 3. This is another one that carries risk. I said these last 2 of the slip are the riskiest plays, so be a little cautious if you want to just go with the 4 pick with Snell, Etienne, Lawrence, and Mahomes. That's probably like the safer plays on this slip. The last 2 are kind of risky, but I still like the chances here on these. Shota Imanaga is another one where he might not pitch that long, but the Cubs really need him to go deeper. I mean, they don't want to go in that bullpen again. The Cubs bullpen has not really been good so far in this postseason. They've been a little shaky, especially when the Brewers won 9-3 in Game 1. It's another spot where the Cubs need to win. They can't go down 2-0 in this series. If they want to move on in the postseason, they gotta be able to find a way to get it done here. And Shota Imanaga, this 3 strikeout line, he's tied or gone over it in his last 5 games. Even in the last game against the Padres, a team that doesn't strike out that much. The Brewers are the same kind of team. They don't strike out that much, but I still think he finds a way to get 3 strikeouts. He also came out of the bullpen in that game. They started Andrew Kittredge, so I think he should be the immediate starter in this game from the first inning. So that's just more of his normal routine. He's going to feel better and just have some more normalcy to go over his number. So I think it's a great closer to this 6-pick slip today. And that's the slip, guys. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I drop free picks every single day covering a variety of sports. Also, drop a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know if any of my picks have been helping you guys recently. I really do enjoy engaging with you guys and seeing what kind of picks are working for y'all, or if y'all aren't winning. I also want to see what y'all are going through, see if I can help in any way in that department. We should have a fun slate of games here, guys. I do like these edges on these props. I feel pretty good. We're chasing that 6 for 6. We've been hitting pretty consistently still over the last couple of weeks, so great time to jump on board for telling any of these slips. We're gonna crack it one of these times. We've been getting close. We've been getting really close. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.